So much for joining us for Off the Reel sessions where we do a 10 to 15 minute interview with the band that just performed. But before we jump into that interview, make sure that you go to patreon.com/on the Marc Studio, where you can become a sponsor for as little as $5 a month. We already have a bunch of sponsors from all over the world that are sponsoring us every single month. Consider jumping in and allowing this stream to continue every single week. Also, a big shout out to our sponsors out of Nashville, Tennessee, Coburn's Exclusive, and here locally, Celestial Viking Entertainment. But we're going to go ahead and jump right in. We just had Tripping Bricks on stage, and they were absolutely incredible. But what's up, y'all? Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Just
man.
briefly, this is not to shame you. It's tripping on bricks. We've been
That's what I said, right?
we get this tripping bricks thing
Tripping-
often because it is common.
Did I say tripping?
No, you said tripping bricks on stage.
Tripping on bricks.
It's good.
Tripping bricks, tripping on bricks.
Yeah, it's like it came from the horseshoe on USC's campus where all those 200-year-old bricks and people would trip and fall and
okay.
face plant on there.
Well,
it used to be
sorry.
an enjoyable event to watch, but
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Well,
that's where we came up
Well,
with it.
hey, just so in case you didn't know, it's tripping on bricks, not tripping bricks. That's a whole different story.
It's a whole different thing. Tripping Bricks is a different band.
So tell me a little bit about your band. Introduce yourself. Let's go through some background stuff. How long you've been playing music, any educational experience, and so forth.
Should we pass this?
Let's start with you.
Yeah. Oh, you have the passable. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. So I'm Ridge. I am the lead singer of Tripping on Bricks. I have been playing music for quite a few years. Hard to put a date on, which means probably pretty young. But I went to USC, and that's where I met Harp and E.T., who is not here tonight. We got to give our bassist a shout out. Morgan filled in phenomenally, super last minute, but awesome. Yeah, he did a great job. But yeah, we met at USC. While I was in college there, I was kind of fooling around with some music and starting to songwrite a little bit, and I did USC's Got Talent kind of goofily. Yeah, it was a little bit weird, but I did that with a couple of my buddies, and we won, actually.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
And Harper was there in the audience. He just kind of gave me his contact info. He was like, hey, if you never need a drummer, let me know. And at this point, I was just playing acoustic guitar, so that was way out of the picture. I told him yes. But a couple weeks later, we met our first guitarist, Jonathan. We worked through some stuff, and we're like, I know a drummer, he knows a bassist, and we just started playing like the local stuff, like Breakers before R.I.P.
Yeah.
Gone forever, but not forgotten. So we just kind of started playing around the scene, and then I guess what was that? Was that my senior year that you joined, or was it after?
I don't really remember, but I guess that's kind of where I'll take over. My name's Nick. I play lead guitar for Tripping on Bricks, and I met these guys at Breakers. I went to school down in Orlando for like live production, kind of what we're doing right now.
Full Sail?
Yep.
Yeah.
So went there for recording initially and switched to live production. So I was actually telling Harper this is kind of exactly what we'd do for labs and stuff like that. So did that and came back home and ran audio at Breakers for a while. That's how I met these guys. But like musical upbringing wise, I'm from around here, from like the Lake Murray area. I went, Chapin High School. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, so I'm from around here, but my family moved here when I was younger, and I've been playing guitar since I was, since I could remember, since I was probably 9 or 10 years old, and just played in, like you said, talent shit, like middle school band. I had like a pop punk middle school band called Minor Effect. Go look it up.
Minor
rocked.
Effect.
It's
They have
terrible.
like 10,000 views on YouTube. Like, it should actually be watched. Like,
Actually-
there's like a prodigy child in that band. Like, watching
Actually,
14-year-olds
yeah,
shred is awesome.
with fear that Mark
Sounds
Bryan
weird.
from Hootie might see this. The best story of my entire life is I was recording a single with Mark Bryan with Minor Effect when I guess we were in like 7th grade or something. And so I was finished with guitar parts, and we were finishing up vocals and whatnot. So he let us take his 99 Ryder Cup golf cart around like the property out on like the Intercoastal in Charleston. And we would drift it around this pond, and I actually put it in the pond.
Oh, no.
And we got it out, and he was real cool about it. But yeah, that's a big part of my musical career, I guess. That's probably like the best thing that I'll ever do
Wrecking Mark
in
Bryan's
terms
golf
of
cart.
music. But he was real cool about it. Shout out Mark Bryan, and what's his son's name again? Kenny.
You're gonna get a bill.
He's real cool too. So yeah, that's how I met these guys.
shout out
I was
Kenny
running
for sure.
audio, and Jonathan moved up to Charlotte area, and they wanted another guitar player, so I just kind of hopped in.
How long you been with the band?
Oh man, I guess no longer than that.
3 years.
COVID was a year that we
took a
forgot
year
about.
out, like,
Yeah, I did. No, we don't even count.
2018, right?
Yeah.
It's like-
Doesn't that sound right?
That was
a
leap
year
year.
just disappeared.
So
It really
3
does
years.
feel
Yeah,
like that,
yeah,
right?
it was
It's
a
like a
leap year.
leap day.
No.
You're like, what happened?
Yeah, completely the whole year. We just leaped that over.
Yeah, I was thinking about that actually because I saw a memory pop up on my Instagram of a song I had written mid-COVID. I had just done like the folky acoustic version of it, which later became a song. But I was like, oh my god, that was a year ago. We haven't
know.
released music in like a
To
while.
answer your question though, I guess it was like 2018-ish, 19, and
Yeah, I guess
so.
so.
Yeah, I've been playing with them ever since. I did the first album with them, and just kind of keep going, keep trucking.
Trucking.
How many albums do you guys have out right now?
Just the first
Just
one.
the first one. What's the name of it?
It's called Colorblind. That was our first. That project like meant a lot just because it was like a culmination of like 4 years of songwriting. So it like definitely captured a lot of my college experience. So I think it had a lot of coming of age feeling to it. But we were super poor, so we didn't have a lot of money to put it together. Actually, the last day, the last day was a fun like college first record story. We Nick and I were in the car listening to the mix in the car just for reference, and it was like, I don't know, day 5 or something. We were completely out of money, and they were just kind of listening to it, and he was like, "What do you think?" I was like, "I don't know what I think, but we're out of money, so it's done." So we put it together, got it put out, and then his car ran out of gas on the way home. So that's how.
No.
Yeah, that's how poor we were. Like his car ran out of gas. I had $7 in my wallet. And I was like, okay, he used his Venmo card to get a gas can. We spent $5 to fill up his tank and the remaining $2 on tacos. That was the
Naturally.
that was the end of the record. So
Naturally.
this one's going to be a lot different. Record 2's probably going to come out fall-ish.
Okay.
Barring any weirdness, that's just kind of the projected timeline, but we're thinking this year, if not next. But it's a totally different game now because obviously we're doing this whole like, we have jobs now. We're adults, so
Look at
we
that.
can fund it.
It's fun being an adult, isn't it?
It's a little fun
Yeah.
being adult. It's also soul crushing, but we have the whole.
Yo, I don't even want to hear it. I turned 30 this year, so I'm like, no, man. No,
30's a
no.
good one though.
Is it?
Some people say life ends at 30.
I don't know. Yeah. kinda do.
Wisdom.
No, I actually went to the gym for the first time in like a decade this last week. I promised myself when I turned 30 I would do so. So I was like,
Okay.
yeah, no, I'm not liking
You're
it.
in really good shape to have never gone.
I guess
this
skinny's a
decade.
shape. Yeah.
It's a shape. It's a good shape.
Yeah, my metabolism is up there.
Hell yeah.
I eat like 6 times a day.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out science.
Yeah, right.
Shout out molecular biology.
Yeah.
That's
So,
awesome.
Harper, tell us a little bit about you, man.
You have it.
I have a microphone. I don't usually have a microphone too. This is weird. So my real name is Evan, but we've got 2 Evans in the band. So I go by Harper. He goes by ET, as you probably heard already. I'm actually from up in a little town called Wilson, North Carolina, right in between Greenville and Raleigh up there, which is, I translate that to right in between NC State and ECU, because that's
Yeah.
the only thing people know about North Carolina. I moved down here. I went to school for a couple years at UofSC, and then I caught the dream bug. Honestly, I caught, and now we're here. We're gonna black out the middle part, and now we're right here. So, but yeah, I've been playing drums. There's a lot to that. There's a lot to that.
I'm sure.
But yeah, I've been playing drums since maybe like 2nd, 3rd grade.
Okay.
Started by sneaking on my brother's kit when he wasn't home. Shout out Avery. And yeah, I mean, Ridge already told the story of kind of how I met him and everything. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hell yeah, man. And I guess let's slide over to the stand-in, the proxy.
Hi, I'm Mojo, and I play ham bone with a fish. That's what I do. That's my code.
How long you been playing ham-bone with the fish?
I'll slap with the bass. I've been playing bass since I was 9 years old, and I'll be 30 next month, so I'm right behind you, bud.
Oh no, you're a 91 baby too.
I'm a 91 baby.
Ah.
But
Shout out
yeah,
the
so no, just I play in several bands. I do a lot of fill-in and stand-in work, and got to work with these wonderful guys. Got to play some banging music. That was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for having me.
You were awesome, dude.
But that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
So let's kind of dive into this next album. I know we kind of touched on it a little bit, but you know, how did you do your last album? Are you going to do things differently with this album? And kind of let's dive into those details. So, you know, let's talk about how the process of your last album, and then how you're going to, you know, either keep the same process or do things differently with this next album.
Yeah, I think the first album, like, I guess just to backtrack it, the first album process was very much like I would write a song, and then I'd, you know, show up to band practice and be like, what'd you write? And then we'd flesh it out together. And then, so for 4 years, we kind of just had a whole track list worth of music that we would try out live, you know? So we're like, okay, that's not working. And, you know, they changed a little bit before time to record. So by the time we were, you know, seniors, you know, when we were recording it, it was pretty well, like, we knew what we were playing, you know. We just hopped in there. We didn't have any money, so it was very structured. We knew, like, okay, we can only afford 4 days. Like, we're going to get in there, and we were going to track 9 songs in the first day, 2 songs in the next, and then we're going to mix that thing.
Yeah.
So it kind of went that way on the first record. So we very much knew, like, what we were playing, but we didn't have a lot of experience mixing. It was fun, though. I enjoyed that process just because it was kind of cathartic to, like, put it out there.
Yeah.
It's like writing, you know, my song book is kind of like my journal, so it was a little scary. I'd been playing these songs to people for a long time, but, like, putting them out there in the world felt a little weird. Just
so
because
where anybody can listen to it at any time.
Yeah, I write deeply personal stuff.
Yeah.
Like, almost all of them have meanings or double meanings, and, like, if you figure it out, you figure it out. But it's kind of, I don't know, it's deeply personal stuff. So it was weird to release the first one. So now the second record is kind of taking a different approach, obviously because of COVID. I think COVID shaped it a little bit, and also our stage in life. You know, now we've got, you know, working jobs. We're working 9 to 5s, so we're able to kind of afford a little bit more, you know, spend time writing on the front end. We're working with Luke Reeves from Dead Swells and Bad Vessel. So he's an excellent producer. So on the front end, we kind of flesh out ideas with him, and then we take it down to Wolfgang Zimmerman down in Charleston. He's been, you know, like a night and day difference to our sound. It's like, you know, working with somebody like a producer of his level has been pretty, it changed the way we approach a lot of this stuff. There's so much more time spent on the mix, spent on, like, the arrangement of, you know, the way the mix is going to tie into that arrangement. I think a lot of the songs are being shaped kind of in the studio now, which is cool, because we didn't have a chance to, you know, play them for an audience and be like, that works, that doesn't work. So now it's very it came out of just us, you know. We don't know if it's gonna work, you know. It's just kind of something we thought sounded good. So I think it'll be a cool step in our progress of just writing and actually, like, coming from us, you know. It's gonna be a lot more I think sincere in I guess the first record, not that it wasn't sincere, but we didn't have a lot of time. Like, this time we have time, so we're spending a lot of time on each song, and by the time it's over, I think, you know, we're gonna have spent, you know, a quality 1.5 years in the studio. So, you know, obviously on and off.
Which is nice, but it's nice because you get to sit on it for a little bit.
Right. Yeah, we can sit on some. I mean, there's a couple of songs. The next song we're about to release, we'll find something and just be like, man, something's not right. Like, when we were releasing the first record, I had that thought, like, plenty of times, but we were out of money. So I couldn't go back and be like, that's not right, or spend time to figure out what's not right. So this time it's cool to be able to say, like, something's not right. Let's just book a day and figure out what's not right. And then by the time we leave, it's like, okay, we got a new thing, you know.
Feels better.
Yeah, definitely. So I think it's going to be a huge step in, like, not only production, just because Wolf's amazing, but also a big step in, like, careful writing of arrangements.
Yeah. And I know some artists have, like, certain rituals when they go into the studio. Do you guys have anything like that? Like, any interesting stories? That
Just pray for good vibes.
Yeah.
Pray to Madame Zeroni. Carry her up the mountain.
Yeah, we've done that a couple of times. Pray to Madame Zeroni. Shout out Holes.
Yeah, right.
Is that a copyright issue? I hope not.
Whatever.
I'm sorry.
They'll probably bleep it out.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there's not, like, any particular... we definitely have a flow of the way things go. You know, like, I'll flesh out an idea when I write something, and then I like to flesh that out with Luke, actually. That's kind of how the process is changing a little bit. I'll flesh that kind of idea out with Luke, and then we all kind of come together and play within those bounds, and everybody does kind of their own thing inside of that. I think it's opened up a pretty genuine, like, it's genuine to the idea, but also everybody kind of has room to play around in there, where it's not just kind of that spur of the moment. We're sitting in a band room, like, okay, I gotta play this. Like there's time to think about it. It's like, hey, this is the progression. I'm gonna figure out what's gonna play in here and sound good.
The term I used the other day was reactionary. That's kind of how we were doing things. It was reactionary. Like, I just wanted to say that because I think it's worthwhile to say.
Well, it's nice. It's nice that it's kind of like a manufactured organic approach. Does that make
definitely.
sense? Like it's still true to who you are, but you're taking time and working out and polishing the edges, which is nice.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Polishing the edges, I like that too. That's definitely what we've been doing on the second one for sure, compared to the first
to
one.
compete like in this world of, the records that are in the top 100 have however many $100,000 pumped into each song. So it's like to compete, you got to kind of keep up with some level of production, which takes, a lot more time than, I think normally you would do it. But
And it's nice this time that you have an extra set of ears on it that's outside from the band. You know what I mean? When I was going through my first album, I was producing the album from top to bottom. And so, like, reaching out and trying to get people to, listen and kind of give me their opinion, that doesn't really happen in this industry. Like, they're not going to give you, like, the full insight.
Right.
So it's nice to have somebody in your corner that's helping you, once again, polish those edges to make it a little bit more palatable for the listener.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, also with a producer too, that like I was actually telling a friend the other day about something that we're just not used to, but having a good producer like Wolfgang is like, rather than, oh, I think this should feel this way, whatever, it's more like, hey, find the seventh, play that note, try that note.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, we write the song, he writes, the lyrics and a lot of the songs, and we write together a lot, but in terms of like, delivering it in a good package, like a good producer makes all the difference.
Yeah, it felt like a missing piece, like on the first record. The guys at Strawberry Skies were phenomenal. Like, I don't want to like sound like we're crapping on our first record, but those guys were they're kind of like old school. They're engineers. They're good. They know what they're hearing, but there wasn't a lot of like, hey, I think maybe you should try like he said, like the seventh.
They were more engineers than producers.
Engineers. Yeah, so we really self-produced. In reality, we self-produced the first record. So now to have another set of ears is, I think, going to change it's not going to change us who we are.
Yeah.
But the sound is a lot more, I think, maybe marketable. I don't know if that's like a.
No, it is. Yeah.
It's not an unfortunate thing to say because it's starting to work. I think a little bit. One of our newer songs is doing pretty well, so I think we're trending in a good direction. I hate to like take music and put it in that like business perspective,
but it is.
That's
exactly what it is.
I have a tough time separating that for sure because like the business side of it is like this is to be marketable, and then the art side of it is like it's just my art. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. So it's like this fine line of.
But at the same time, like you got to make money doing it.
Right. Yeah. If I want this to be my only job, like we have to make money doing it. So there has to be some sacrifice. Like we can't do a 7-minute, piano ballad where I'm howling. Like it's not gonna work, even if it's art.
Not?
Maybe we could.
No,
I'll add it to the record.
Yeah, you should. Just
all
go
right,
ahead.
we're adding it to the record. Everybody in the room decided so.
You heard it here first, y'all.
7-minute piano ballad, Howling Record, track 6.
Yes.
Track 1.
Okay, we're coming out of the gate.
So tell me a little bit about you guys' shows that you have coming up. Do you have any shows booked currently, or?
Yeah, booking's been kind of weird. Yeah, Thursday is our next one. COVID made booking kind of different. I don't know if you've experienced that at all. It's like venues are still starting to figure out. It's like, can we have people? We can have a lot of people. It's like, do they have to wear masks? No. They don't have to wear masks in this state, but in that state they do. So it's been really weird to book. Some people are still using tables and doing the socially distant thing. So it's kind of each his own. But I think venues are still a little like it feels like they're hesitant in a lot of the bookings.
It's hard because there's a social aspect to it.
Right.
There's a business aspect to it, and then there's a legal aspect to it.
Oh yeah, that's
you know
a
what I mean?
huge portion.
So like they're trying to balance. They're spinning plates and then also balancing the scales.
Yeah,
as far as like what is morally correct, what is legally correct. And then how are they going to make their business survive? And then the very first thing to go, normally, if it's not an entertainment venue, like dedicated entertainment venue, the very first thing to go is music. Yeah. It is a live performance. So because it's an added expense that is not necessary to their business. So,
Right.
So that's why a lot of the industry has just taken a massive hit
Oh yeah.
over the last year, and it's starting to come back. They're starting to
Thank God.
people have been yelling for it. We want live music. We want
Oh,
live
yeah.
music, and people are tired of. Man, I saw a fan of mine that I hadn't seen in a year because he'd been locked up in his house for a year. You know what I mean?
Jeez.
This last weekend, he's like, dude, what's up? I'm like, where have you been?
Yeah,
You know what I
isn't
mean?
that
Like,
weird to see people that you haven't seen? It's been a strange thing to watch music kind of come back. We were all craving it so much for so long, but there was no way to do it, for that whole period of time there. So I'm glad it's coming back. It's nice to see it coming back for sure. And I think people are like going to shows now. It feels different. The energy in the room is like I've been waiting for this. At first it's hesitant, but once you get them going,
yeah,
it's like, oh yeah,
they're a little bit more
I forgot.
accepting.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So you said you're playing somewhere Thursday. So where's that at in time?
Yeah, we're playing at Uncle Fester's on Thursday.
Hey.
Is it 7? Are we at?
I have no idea.
Starts at 7. 7 to midnight.
Yeah, we will be the midnight. We'll be the ones there till midnight. Well, no, I'm saying till midnight is what I meant.
So get there early pregame and see them starting at 11 o'clock, right? You
Yeah, I've
guys
been
are
wanting to
11?
play there for a minute.
Yeah.
We used to frequent there in college, so I've been wanting to play at Uncle Fester's for a while.
I have a good friend of mine who actually just built the stage there and put up the curtains and everything, and it's a really nice. I don't want to say his name as far as copyright issues. I'm just joking. yeah, I just
sponsoring
joking.
this
Oh wait,
currently.
is he a sponsor? Yeah, he is. No, yeah, Greg's been doing a great job at Uncle Fester's. Man.
Yeah, I was
He's had
super
it,
glad to
yeah.
hear there's a stage there. I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be fun. We went there a bunch in college, just debaucherous behavior, but it's fun. It's gonna be awesome to play there.
Well, I wanted to say thank you guys for touching the stage tonight, man. You guys did a fantastic job. Your energy was just palpable. I was just sitting back on the couch and watching all the moving parts and the video and the sound, listening to the live stream. And, man, you guys did absolutely incredible. Thank you for joining the show.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much,
It
man.
was an
We had a great
awesome
time.
event.
We love stuff like this.
Yeah, this is weird that this was the first live stream we did during, we made it the whole pandemic, didn't play a live stream. Now there's live shows, and we did a live stream.
Well,
So we're like, let's do it.
you're a unicorn then, as far as a band is concerned, that hasn't done a live stream since.
You guys have got a quality setup here. It sounds great, and I heard this stuff online. I was like, oh, this is worth doing. Everybody was getting it wrong at the beginning of the pandemic. I heard Moon Taxi do, I don't want to, say anything against them, but
Yeah.
I heard an early live stream from them, and they hadn't yet figured out quality audio coming through, I think.
Yeah.
And they're amazing. So
Yeah.
I was like, if they're sounding like that, we're not going to do this. Because they're amazing.
It was tough because everybody was thrown back on their heels.
Right, yeah.
Right off and then trying to get the equipment. I mean, it took us probably 6 months to get into stride with the streaming. And, we started with iPhones and so it was just very difficult and how to move it forward. So I once again, I appreciate y'all, and I hope your fans enjoyed it, and I'm sure you'll be sharing it. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with us here on Off the Reel Sessions. Make sure you go back. If you didn't watch their live stream tonight, you can go to On the Marc Studio on Facebook, YouTube. Are we on Twitter? We're not on Twitter, but Twitch. All the different social media platforms. Make sure you go to patreon.com/onthemarkstudio. Consider being a sponsor for as little as $5 a month. Every little bit helps. And once again, thank you for joining us. Thanks for playing, guys. Hope you guys have a great night. See you later.